So what are you trying to say? That I should let go? That I should forgive her, embrace love and peace? Talk about love and peace with her in this damn world. Does the fate expect us to hope for justice after pushing us into the abyss? Now that things have come to this, I'll handle it myself, even if it means death.
I know what you've lost is irreplaceable. You're capable of making everyone pay. You don't believe in any justice. Only revenge can heal you. But none of this should be taken for granted. Because from the beginning, you shouldn't have been subjected to this deprivation. There's no reason for you to endure such suffering.
Christina bites her lip, holding back tears as she looks up at Kokalik. She can't run away. A step back would mean falling into an abyss.
Kokalik, wake up. The garden is still alive. Only you can save them.
Oh, come on, let me get the thumbnail.
The scene, but you were too hurt to see the truth. I brought it to you.
The scene was fabricated? The people in the garden weren't killed. Where's the evidence?
It's blood.
That large pool of blood. It would have taken at least 20 minutes to clot, but the petals that fell on it didn't have a single drop of blood on them. This proves that a lot of time passed after the bleeding before the vase was shattered. Not just there. All the damaged scenes had the same unnatural feeling to some extent. The bleeding should have occurred with the battle's destruction, but there are too many places where the traces don't match. Although it could be explained by coincidence, but isn't there another possibility? The high-intensity attack by Hush was real, and the garden was destroyed. But the death and brutality were faked.
Oh, she wanted her to completely fall in revenge and be one-minded so that she can have another S-rank sinner controlled. It's also possible that the so-called slaughter never happened. Huh. So cool.
The mastermind was her. The wisest, the most efficient. She never wastes energy on useless work. There must be a reason.
To provoke Kokalik.
The entire ordeal was designed to provoke Kokalik, who was at the scene. She cherished the garden so much. Faced with such a shocking sight, she couldn't muster the strength to look closely at such a brutal scene. She would immediately find her enemy and fight to the death.
But why would she do this?
Why? Christina had some guesses, but right now she needs to prove.
Thistle, you work for the garden, so you must have a lot of connections. I need you to do something for me. Get the real evidence. Prove my hypothesis.
Christina reaches determinedly into her pocket and intended to take out her phone and play Thistle's recorded call. Unfortunately, the spatial space seems to have forgotten to bring her phone in. She pretends to be calm as she withdraws her hand and wipes it. Kokalik's gaze is fixed on her, giving Christina confidence.
The evidence is with Thistle. We collected the coagulated blood from the scene and had it verified at a clinic. It's definitely mixed with a large amount of artificial blood. My hypothesis is correct. Hush faked the scene, making you believe that the garden was dead. She always pursues efficiency and economy. Such a roundabout way can only be to satisfy two goals. She needs the garden alive, and at the same time, to drive you mad.
Kokalik tries to follow this line of thought, but the white light still surrounds her, warning her not to be gullible and to think clearly about her true purpose.
I don't believe what you're saying. I won't let you lead me on. Don't think you can fool me! You, a person who's been blinded by her. A waste who gets weak kneed at the sight of death. What could you find in a place like that? If they're still alive, why didn't that woman from Paradiso say so earlier? Wouldn't that have been a better way to trick me into helping her?
Christina opens her mouth to tell her something, but the words suddenly get stuck in her throat. She feels a pang of pain.
Is facing the truth that hard for you, Detective?
It's very hard, Mireya, very hard. But we must face it, because justice can only come from truth. even if truth is painful.
I've looked into Rahu's transfer records. She was affiliated with the FAC before July NF-103, participating in the Eclipse operation. Around the time of the Erica Villa incident, her demeanor drastically changed. I contacted her previous commander in the FAC, Captain Conrad, and learned a lot of things. From the medical records at that time, Rahu suffered a fatal injury in the early morning of July 24th, similar to what I encountered. It was the Hush's Shoral. It can be inferred that they may have fought. The Hush killed Rahu, then saved her and changed her. I've seen this situation before.
Christina stops, aware of the gaze behind her. In the silence, she can even imagine that smile, the one she used to love so much. She clenches her teeth and word by word musters all her strength to say what needs to be said.
In NF-104, I attacked Nirvana, attacked Shalom, the Hush on the scene at the time, with the utmost hatred. I was also severely injured then. I wanted to kill her, and then I was changed too. I always thought it was because she redeemed me. But maybe that's not the case. Seeing what you look like now, I'm even more certain the truth is not like that.
So they're not completely brainwashed, they're just affected. It's like a mind trigger, holy shit. I know what this is. There's I'm an evil god. That's what it's called, I believe. That's one of the manuas that I've been reading. I don't recommend them anymore because they get copyrighted, but that's one of the ones that I've been reading, and it's great. Now in that show there's a trigger called a heart trigger, I believe, a mind trigger, heart trigger, I don't remember what it was called. So basically it like cements a thought. Like if there's a person and they're focusing on, let's say, their gratitude towards you, right, and you insert a heart trigger into them, then that becomes their focal point of their thought. They will always feel gratitude towards you. Let's say if someone feels like hatred towards you and you put in the heart trigger, then they will always feel hatred towards them. So like the main character inserts a heart trigger, or like someone inserts a heart trigger in one of the side characters, and they're infatuated by their son, like they need to protect their son, they're like always about that life. So that's what this is happening, that she's inserting a heart trigger into them.
The Hush can control the sinner under certain conditions, making them completely serve herself. This is a more economical, efficient, and stable method than killing them. This is the tactic I know the smartest and most powerful Shalom would use. This is the true intention of destroying the garden. She wants to incite your anger for revenge, and then, like now, use her abilities to completely control you. As for the lives of others, she can economize, even make them serve her, can't she? I have some clues about the whereabouts of the garden. Once we reach a safe place, I'll tell you. But first, you have to wake up. You also have to see the truth. The truth is...
Christina stammers, her mouth opening and closing several times without being able to utter a word. The tears come first.
The people I loved most, the things I believed in most, are all gone. It hurts me too, but I can't just stand still, can I? Unlike you, revenge doesn't heal me. Even if I exterminate all my enemies, it's just forcing me to admit that the world is rotten. Forcing me to stab myself and then turning me into the person I hate the most. Laugh at me if you want, but I choose to believe in justice forever. No matter what happens, I refuse to accept that the world is inherently bad. I cannot stand by while people are stripped of their rights as if it's the norm, or while wrongdoers behave as if their actions are normal.
I mean, the world is inherently bad. What are you talking about?
I only agree with one thing you said. That I should get up on my own. Only I can save myself. I will prove that justice exists, and then bring it to those who need it. Only in this way can my heart heal.